Hey, Jim Toscano here, and welcome to the Thursday night live stream. I wanted to have a little in memoriam section for tonight. Actually, I'm going to go to a screen here. Let's see. I have to change scenes to my full screen. So I want to mention two people. This is going to be rough for me. So a good friend of mine passed away last week, and I actually found out about it after the live stream. So Big Ed Cody, Ed DeGangi, guitar player, singer from my band Whiskey Wranglers. I knew Ed for decades, really close friend of mine. He passed away, so I wanted to mention Ed. Rest in peace, Ed. And of course, legendary piano player Chick Corea passed away today. That's rough for everybody that loved him and knew him in the music community. So I didn't know Chick personally, although I'd met him at his own shows. I'm kind of just flashing between Ed Cody and Ed DeGangi and Chick Corea. So I had seen Chick play many times. And although I didn't know him personally, I had the pleasure of meeting him a few times and got to see him a few years ago with Steve Gadd playing once again, which was great. And, of course, the great Dave Weckl, my friend Dave, who played for years with him, is the one who told me about it today that he had passed. And so we want to remember Chick Corea and my good buddy Ed DeGangi. Tough week. Tough week. And by the way, the record Crystal Silence, if you don't have it, get that. Gary Burton, Chick Corea duet, vibraphone piano duet. Amazing stuff. And there's like a beautiful, there's a lot of beautiful music on it, but the track Children's Song is really sweet. It's like a lullaby. It's very nice to play. Lucia, you can play that for Lena. And the title track, Crystal Silence, is really beautiful. And I'll probably get the restream will probably get shut down. But I'm gonna play a little bit from the Children's Song, which I thought was really beautiful. And yeah, man. So tough week for the music community as a whole, I would say. And my friends. So. And there's a lot of Chick tunes that I really love. Going back to like Windows. And, you know, pre-Electric Band stuff. Really, I was listening to Return to Forever in college. And then got turned on to, you know, listen to like Touchstone later on and all that kind of stuff, and Crystal Silence, and then later the Electric Band, which blew my mind, blew everybody's mind in this little group here. Even Lucia, because I played her some of this stuff, and then the acoustic band, and then and then the reunion shows that were going on at the Blue Note in New York City. Oh my God, so much great music. So I don't want to bring everybody down, but I really needed to mention those couple people. And, hey, man, there it is. We, as a community, drummers, we pull together. So, all right, let's get it together. Jim, let's see. What button do I push? All right, I'm going to bring in my little Zoom class because those are my peeps. And we're going to hang, so let's see. Zoom window. There they are. Holy moly. There's my people. And we have 5 of us in here tonight. No Rocco. Of course, Rocco, he may show up later. Rocco, you're not getting your iPad stand that I made for you unless you show up to a workshop. Otherwise, no iPad stand. I'm going to leave it back there and we're going to go boo until you actually show up and pick up your stand. All right, so up in the top, there's me, and then over there we have Lucia. Up in the top corner, there we go. It's like, we look like the Brady Bunch, but we're missing one. See, Rocco, you ruined the 6 square thing. And then right underneath me, Ross Amoroso, the Cannoli King from Ohio. Actually, Ross has his Ludwig Red Sparkle kit all set up. I was working on that with him earlier this week, this beautiful vintage Red Sparkle Ludwig kit, which I told Ross that my first drum set was a Ludwig Red Sparkle kit, except for the bass drum that I found in the tree, which is a whole nother story. But the drum set that I played on all through my teens was a Ludwig Red Sparkle set. And so Ross and I share that in common. And then how do I do diagonal? Next to Ross, going that way, Bob Sears. There he is. Bob! And then down on the bottom, so it's funny because we have, Lucia pointed out that we have Ross Amoroso, then we have Bob Sears. You can put Bob and Ross together and you get like the Bob Ross thing. And then down on the bottom, we have Pat Ross. So there's like this trifecta of Bob Ross. We should all wear the Bob Ross fro and have, oh, look at that. I saw that on Facebook today, the new snare. But yeah, so we have like the Bob Ross trifecta, I think, somehow. It's pretty insane. All right, so, with no further ado, I think we should get into some playing, right? We have a great community. We have like the best musician community. I don't think it exists in any other instrument. I know I make the bassoon joke all the time, but there is no bassoon hangs like this. And I think I need more light over by the pad. I'm going to turn my light a little bit, see if that actually helps. And but I was talking about that with a few guys this week about how like we really come together and support each other and lift each other up. And so that's a great thing, especially during this time of everybody being kind of isolated in their drum rooms and nobody's really out playing. So we have this. We all come together and we do our thing. I got to take my jacket off because I'm realizing that I'm going to get very, very warm very, very quick. I got my St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast shirt on today. So there it is. St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. It's a beautiful little love song. So let's do it. Exactly. I thought about the beginning of that with Nanook Rubs It, and my dog's been creating the yellow snow in the backyard because we've been so full of snow. So, watch out where the huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. All right, here we go. So let's see. Oh, I just want to check on and make sure. Oh, chat's working, man. Holy boly. Don O'Keefe. Woo. Don's in there. Diana's in there. Hi, Diana. How are you doing? Don O'Keefe and Diana hanging in and Pat Ross somehow, he's able to be in the chat and in the live stream at the same time. It's amazing. Yeah. How about this? I can type into the chat too. Look at that. Awesome. Zappa, of course. Zappa's another one of those guys like Chick who, gone way too soon, by the way. But Zappa employed some of the greatest musicians in the world, as did Chick Corea. And so, we have to appreciate the contribution of these guys and the fact that they brought forth so many great players and brought together in different combinations so many great players. So something I liked to do when I was younger was I would buy a record, then I would read who the personnel was on the record, then I would go look up all those guys' records and find out who they played with, and then you'd start stringing together all this different stuff. So, like with Dave Weckl, I knew about him he played with Bill Connors. And then I was like, oh my God, Bill Connors, Dave Weckl. And then, so I got this Bill Connors record. The drummer was Dave Weckl. Look up Dave Weckl. Oh, he's playing with Chick Corea. Look up Chick Corea. Oh, he's playing with Michel Camilo. Look up Michel Camilo. And then you go on this journey, 6 degrees of separation with Dave Weckl and every other musician out there. So it's pretty incredible. And we used to do it, when I was a kid, at the library, or looking on the back of records and trying to draw comparisons. But now it's all the kids now, all of us kids, we're looking it up on the internet and very quickly finding out who everybody plays with. But man, back in the day, you had to kind of do the homework and go to the record store and read the back of every record and figure it out. Crazy stuff, right? So awesome. All right, so let's do a little playing. So we're gonna drop into a couple of new things tonight that, well, new as of last week, and but I am gonna break down a couple of other concepts. And one thing I realized, and we're gonna bring this up later again, is, oh, maybe I'll just bring it up now. One of the rudiments that's missing in my booklet, and the booklet's, well, Lucia, how many pages is the booklet? 77 last time? Today, it's 79, I think. Let me see. Yeah, 79 pages. So the booklet is growing, of course. And we're going to get to that 100 point, right, Lucia? Bob's over there and rolling his eyes going, come on, Jim, knock it off already. We got to catch up to the what we got in there so far. So do I, as a matter of fact.
Was the goal. 100 was the goal.
100's the goal. So, but the one rudiment there are a couple of rudiments missing, but the one rudiment that I noticed this week is missing, or I brought it up this week, is the flamacue. And so the flamacue will have its place in the book very shortly. So I've been writing stuff for the flamacue. But one thing that I always thought was kind of funny with the flamacue is, I would play it and count it, E and a 2, E and a 2, and I thought it was really amazing. My buddy Sergio Bellotti he teaches at Berkeley, lovely chap from Italy. He was doing a clinic at PASIC a few years back, and I actually transcribed which groove? I transcribed the Steve Gadd groove for him and wrote it out as a drumline thing so that he could present that idea. And so we got to talking, and when he presented his rudimental stuff, he was the first guy I ever heard say, "It's a flamacue, it's a flamacue, it's a flamacue." And I was like, that's brilliant. Oh, my God. It's like, Sergio, I learned so much from you today. So it's a flamacue. That's a great way to remember it. And the one thing that's cool about the flamacue is it's super useful on the drum set. And I'm not at the drum set tonight. I'll show you that cam view. That's the new camera at the drum set. I will be there on Monday night for my live stream. You're going to hear this. You probably won't see it, but check this out. So if I go... So it's a flamacue. If you put that left stroke up on a tom, like I just did, it's a flamacue, it's a flamacue. It's got some really nice use, I think, on the drum set. And then if you shorten it up, as I like to do with all these phrases, we could go, it's a flamacue, it's a flamacue, it's a flamacue, it's a flamacue. So we shorten it up a little bit. E and a 2 and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and a 1 E and, right? So, I'm always thinking in those little groups. So anyway, so the flamacue stuff will be coming down the pipe real soon. I am a gigantic fan of all of the rudiments just because they're so fun. Let's bring on a metronome, and we're going to start at 120 beats per minute, maybe. Let's see. We usually do 110 for the intro. Let's do it 110. All right, so we're going to jump into tried to Zoom tonight, but apparently didn't save any formal meeting links. Don, if you want to get in, I could do a quick... Don just said, when it gets to 100, you're required to publish it. Yes, that is true. That should happen. Sorry you didn't get the link. I'll make sure you have the link for next time, Don. All right, here we go. Let's do some fours. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just making sure the Cooper bark works. 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it in double stops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This could either be a third exercise or a time saver if you don't have a lot of time. Just do the double stop versions of these. All right, let's go to threes on the right. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I gotta get better camera angle. Left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll go over to twos on the right. 1 and 2 and 3, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can really minimize this motion if you want for the up and down strokes. Nice and small. You can work on that big exaggerated motion if you want. I couldn't say exaggerated. That's a hard word. Exaggerated. I sound like a drunk. It's exaggerated. But you can work on it nice and small. You can also work on your formal motions. You'll be working a little harder. All wrist strokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. On the left and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I noticed that I have a light on the left that's blue, or on the right, and a light on the right or on the left that's red. So the left light is red, and the right light is blue, and the light in the middle is purple. It's amazing. It's as if they came together and they made that color, and then they matched it with Pat's shirt. Double stops. Of course, I'm playing on the Green Logix pad from ProLogix. Just like Lucia, she's on her ProLogix pad. Pat's playing on his snare drum at full volume just so he can celebrate his new snare.
No, I'm on my Sabian quiet tone on top of my new drum that I'm celebrating.
All right, who said you could turn your mic on? Go. All right, let's go over to son clave on the left, 3-2 clave, 1, 2, I mean on the right. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Pop, 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 pop. One more time. Pop, 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 pop. Left. Pop, 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 pop. And double stops. Pop, 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 pop. One more time. And rumba clave right. Pop, 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 pop. Left. Passa clave right. Pop, 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 pop. we doing? Bassa, sorry. Da, 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 neutral. So we're going to go over to accent sequence number 1. We'll stay at 110 just to go through one more sequence. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and free strokes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap. On the left, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap. Neutral. So I'm going to move along, and I'm going to take us up to some interlaced, because we're going to bring up the new interlaced concept. Let's do, I'll do it from 1A. All right, interlace 1A. What page is this number? You guys have the page? I'll tell you in 1 second. Where are we? Page 7. Sorry. Number 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1E. So now we're doing 4s. I'm just filling in with the left. Keep it nice and low. Nice and fluid. And on the left, you do a diddle to switch sides. And you can work on this back and forth if you want, just doing diddles to get back and forth. A couple more and then we'll go to 3s on the right. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, You can always do a little check of that movement to make sure that your movements are correct. Down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up. Down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, tap, up, down, and tap, and up, and down, and tap, up, down, and tap, and up, and down, and tap, and up, and that's hard to say. All right, we'll go to 2s. 2, ready, go. Of course, just up and down. Up, down, 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 up. Stay really, really relaxed. Should be no tension in your hands. And the stick should be pretty loose. On the left, little diddle, switch sides. And if you do that diddle to switch sides, it's just a paradiddle. On the 3s, it was a double paradiddle. And on the 4s, it's a triple paradiddle. Let's do the 1Bs. So we'll do, let me move the page up a little. So just double hits happening. Same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, double hits. Switch sides. One, two, 1, 2, ready, and threes. Switch sides. Twos on the right. Switch side. Neutral. All right, let's go to 8 down to 2. Oh, the interlace combos. Should I do it now? I guess I'll do it now, since we're there. All right. So this is the one I was teaching last week. A, 4, stop. All right, so let me just talk about it for a moment. So this is the interlace section just put into sextuplets. So it's the same thing we just did with the threes, but we're going to do it in sextuplets, and I'm going to slow it down to like 70, and I'm going to give us eighth note triplets at first, so we can hear it against the triplet permutation. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up threes with that click, and then drop in the left. And then I'm going to go over each one individually before we link them. So it's going to be doing groups of 3, groups of 2, and groups of 4 for the right hand. And the left hand is going to be floating in all those little tap strokes in between. And really, that left hand, you know, you can do little rebound strokes. You know, basically doing free strokes, but down here, in between. And then the right hand is doing basically 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, tap, up, down, tap, up. When we go to twos, it's just staying with down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. When we go to fours, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up. But of course, over the triplet grid, right? So that's the trick. So 70 eighth note triplets. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, I'm just going to loop the first measure, by the way. So left hand first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Drop in the left. Just like before. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do twos over the same thing. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So I'm accenting the quarter note triplet, but playing eighth note triplets with the right hand. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So with the metronome, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 1 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, ready, 2, 3, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 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 1. Of course, I could count the sextuplets out. 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, 1. But it's easier to count the eighth note triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And we're not actually counting, assigning a count to the left hand. We're just letting that float in between. So we're hence interlacing, right? So we're really concentrating on the primary movement, and the sympathetic notes are just floating in between. I use floating because I'm thinking of it as it's not taking a whole lot of effort. You could really do this with one finger in between if you wanted to. It should just be quiet. Like I'm using only my 3 back fingers, like almost no fulcrum, and just tap, 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 tap. Right, so this hand is really just tap, 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 tap. Okay, so one more time with the 2s. 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay? So now I'm going to put the first 2 measures together. So we're going to go first measure, second measure, first measure, second measure, and 2, ready, go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Making sense? I think it's making sense, right? Okay, cool. So now we're going to do the 4th measure, which is in the 3rd and 4th measure will alternate also. The 3rd measure is the same as the 1st, so we're back to groups of 3. Then the 4th measure, we're going to play the half note triplet pulse by doing 4s. So when I say 4s, we're playing every 4th triplet of the subdivision. So we're going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, up, tap, up. I messed that up, didn't I? Down, tap, tap, up, 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 down, tap, up. That's hard to say. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. When you take away the triplet, it just sounds like you're going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3, but you're not. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Let me put the metronome on. And actually, just for Why not? Let's go here since I was doing it nice and slow. 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 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 1. Okay, so now we're going to do line 3 into line 4, and we'll just loop those. And I'll do it in eighth note triplets first with one hand, and then I'll drop in both. 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 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 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So it almost sounds like it slows down in a way, right? Because we're going from this 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Actually, when we go to the 2s, it sounds like it speeds up, right? So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 2 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So it's got an interesting push and pull to the time, which I loves. I loves it. Oh no, I'm getting a phone call in the middle of this. Can't do it. All right, so I don't have my do not disturb on. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through all of them from the top to the bottom A. So it's going to be, we'll do one measure of each in a loop. So the first 4 measures. We're not going to go to the left side. We'll just do the right side right now. So here we go. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 3s. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, top. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Making sense? Okay. Good fun. So that's new stuffs. And by the way, there's an interlace combo too. And all that does is this. One triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So you double the accents. That's super fun. And then the third one, which I'm not doing this tonight, we can work on it on our own, does the pickup note. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And that one's a little trickier just because you got pickup notes. and you got to keep track of your accents. But man, it sounds good on the drums when you're doing that, and it can be really applied in some fun ways. And actually, what's kind of cool is as you go to the quarter note rate, you really hear the polyrhythm come out of what's going on with this, because there is a polyrhythmic aspect to this, right? So anyway, so that's kind of cool. And one other thing I'm going to talk about before we go, and I know I'm doing a lot of teaching tonight, but I think it's kind of cool. We're introducing some new things and getting to hang together. And my brain's been on creative process mode all week, so I've been writing all kinds of goodies. But this has to do with the concept of collapsing and expanding rudiments, which, you know, I first heard about the idea from Jim Chapin. Wrote all this stuff on collapsing rudiments, and he was getting into this, according to Klaus Hessler, he was getting into this early on, like in the 60s, collapsed rudiments. And then Dom Famularo really turned me on to it by giving me a poster that he helped put together from Jim's writings. Jim's basically scribbling all these things out of these collapsed rudiment ideas. And so they put together a poster. And when I was out doing a bunch of clinics, and Dom gave me a bunch of posters, and stupidly, I handed out all of them. And I didn't leave one for myself. I did have one in the studio for a while, but eventually I gave them all away, and I don't have one anymore. But since then, I've gotten a lot of this ideas from Klaus Hessler and, of course, from Dom. And so I don't claim to be an authority on collapsed rudiments. However, I'm really inspired by it. And what I think is kind of cool, and I really regret that I gave away all of my collapsed rudiment posters. I got to ask Dom for another one. Next time I'm at Dom's and we're drinking wine and eating bagels at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to ask him for a poster, because I'm missing the poster. But so the concept is basically changing the distance of notes. And so I've been writing a lot of things and calling it rate exchange, where we change the rate of a rudiment to collapse or expand it. So it's a literal translation of that concept that was planted by Jim Chapin very early on. And I will say that, like, some of the ones that I was messing around with in my hand technique workshop and clinics and stuff, and Lucia knows this because she's done a little bit of this too, is, like, for instance, if you're just playing flams, what the sticking is that's in there, the literal sticking, is really left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, if you broke it apart, if you collapse that rudiment. So or expanded it rather. So if we're going, and I let the distance get further, I wind up in double strokes. And then I put it back together, right? So you can hear how by changing the distance and then straightening it out completely, I'm just in double strokes. Swing it, close the distance, right? And so all the rudiments you can really do this with, and they all have a sticking within the sticking. So it's kind of like if you look at all the grace notes and give them primary note value, so to speak, it becomes a whole nother thing. Sort of, here's another one that's kind of interesting, is if you take the Swiss Army triplet, I'm in doubles again. I'm just changing the distance. I'm even keeping the posture the same. And Klaus does this with all the rudiments. It's pretty incredible. So I play around with this concept a bunch. Now, something that I thought would be fun to do is let's do the 5-stroke roll as sort of collapsing and expanding and calling it my little rate exchange idea, because we're just changing the rate of it. And I've done a lot of this in the booklet, but this one's kind of fun. So the concept is we go 1 triplet, 2, with the 5-stroke roll in triplets. So if we're playing 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. If we straighten that out, and this, I directly think I was influenced by Klaus on this for sure. If you straighten that out, you're in quintuplets. And most of you know I'm like a huge quintuplet fan. And I've written a lot of stuff on quintuplets. In fact, I have an entire book that I've never published on quintuplets. Stickings and accents and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but anyway, so if I was playing this, and I'll put this in quarter notes. So if we were going 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now I'm playing 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, right? So I went into quintuplets. Back to the triplet. Quintuplets. Right, so all I did was change the distance. So going from 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, 3 E and a La, 4 E and a La, 1, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, 3 E and a La, 4 E and a La, 1. So all we're doing is expanding the notes out a little bit. And so you can go from bar 1 to bar 2. And this will be in the new booklet that I send out to you guys. I know you don't have it because I sent out last week's booklet. And then we go back to the triplet, and then we're going to play it on the 8th note grid with 32nd notes. So the last measure of this little 4-bar thing is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, which is pretty common in literature, right? For 5-stroke rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it's different than the triplet one because the triplet is evenly spaced, sort of, even though we have the single. I mean, the triplet part of it is evenly spaced, as is this. But over the triplet, we get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Over the last example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You can hear it got compressed. And then, of course, the quintuplets in the middle there are just evenly spaced completely. 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, 3 E and a La, 4 E and a La, 1. So they each have a different feel. The quintuplets are just totally even, right? So it's kind of fun to see how they feel going from one to the other. And so putting it to a click, I'll do the 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Hear that difference, right? That difference in feel. And it's just a little bit of difference change. I mean, distance change. A little bit of distance being changed between the notes. So one more time, we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, 3 E and a La, 4 E and a La, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a La, 2 E and a La, 3 E and a La, 4 E and a La, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense? Yeah. So rate exchange. So we did this with the 6-stroke roll later in the book, but we did it with a much bigger swing and rate. Remember, we did 6-stroke rolls by rate, and we did it in eighth notes, eighth note triplets, 16th notes, sextuplets, and 32nd notes. So it's kind of like, you know, you can take any one of these rudiments that you play and put them into different rates, right? We do it all the time with the flam tap, right? So we could be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, right? So you can utilize different rates for every rudiment, really. And I think we should all explore that. It's interesting to see what happens with that. And if you don't have a reference, like a metronome or a count, it's hard to tell what's going on. It just sounds like it's speeding up and slowing down. So, but the rate change is such a cool thing because it really changes the distance of the notes. It's like going, putting it on a rhythmic grid is one thing, but changing that rate. So this rate exchange is fun. We're going to be doing more of this with various rudiments and exploring the sort of collapsing and expanding idea. So, darlings, this is the first time I think we never went through the double stroke section at all. That's because I don't shut up. So anyway, but I think we did some new ideas, and we spent a little time on them for a change, because usually it's like, let me squeeze in these 18 things at the last 5 minutes. Yeah, so I didn't do that tonight, which is a good thing, because, we can't stop it. It wasn't that funny. We can't get that much done in a little bit of time. So, all right, cool. Well, I am so glad everybody hung tonight. I'm about ready to wrap it up. I'm gonna go eat some foods of various sorts. I'm moving my chat window all over the place. I see that Diana was in the chat tonight, and Lena was in the chat. She was chatting with us. She has her own language sometimes, but she's expanding her vocabulary pretty incredibly. She said, like, right, was it Brontosaurus the other day? Or Bronchiosaurus? She said, like, names of dinosaurs. She's like, how old is she? 1? Yeah. I mean, it's like, I can't say that stuff, and I'm in my 50s. Jesus. All right. Anyway, you people are wonderful. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for listening to my little speech in the beginning, which, it's difficult for me to do that sometimes, so as you could see. But I really wanted to pay homage to some great people and great musicians. And so, definitely Chick will be missed in the music world and, of course, personally by the musicians that know him. And, that's kind of how I found out about it today. Of course, it's all over social media, of course. And there's going to be, I'm sure, lots of beautiful tributes to him. So I'm sure we'll all be seeing some of that. So, but we will miss Chick Corea and my buddy Ed. So, all right, you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. My mom didn't show up tonight. I'm a little disappointed. I told her if she doesn't come to the live stream, I'm not going to shovel her snow ever again. But, that's the price you pay, All right, here we go, guys. Let's wrap it up. Say goodbye to my little chat window of lovely humans. The best humans, really. These people are the best. They're the best. It's like having an extended family of dysfunctional drummers. It's a beautiful thing. We're all right, y'all. So we'll see you next time. And here is the closing titles. Oh, thank you.